A humanitarian crisis in Darfur and a lot of oil in Sudan puts the US and China on a collision course. Next, on Global Pulse.
For too long, the people of Darfur have suffered at the hands of a government that is complicit in the bombing, murder, and rape of innocent civilians. My administration has called these actions by their rightful name: genocide.
President Bush will increase U.S. sanctions against Sudan and try to convince the UN to place its own sanctions in an attempt to end the killing in Darfur. But one Security Council member could veto the plan: China. In early 2007, Chinese President Hu included Sudan in a whirlwind tour of Africa, as China's English-language news service reported.
Chinese President Hu Jintao is in Khartoum for his first state visit to Sudan. He and his Sudanese counterpart Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir have discussed boosting cooperation in fields including energy, construction, agriculture, medical work, and education.
Energy cooperation between China and Sudan is very successful, so it is natural for the two countries to sign such deals.
The two countries have also made remarkable progress in cultural, education, and public health cooperation. During the visit, Chinese President Hu Jintao and Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir will discuss the Darfur issue.
Simply imposing pressure and sanctions will not be a practical solution to the real issue.
What the Chinese call the issue of Darfur is explained by Al Jazeera English in different terms.
Remains of Darfur's dead, brought to the surface by strong desert winds, skulls, bones and rotting clothes, and a man sadly scratching through the dirt. Aid workers say this burial site is just one of 30 mass graves around Mokjar town. Most of the Darfur killings, the UN says, are done by the Sudanese army, the Janjaweed Arab militia backed by the government. And it is the killings and the desperation of Darfur's displaced which is testing the international community's patience with Khartoum.
Sudan's President Bashir denied the problem in this NBC News exclusive.
I have this map from the U.S. Department of State that shows more than 1,000 villages in the Darfur region. More than 1,000 burned. How could this just be done by Arab militias without the support of the Sudanese government?
This picture is the same fabrication and the same picture as the ones Colin Powell presented about Iraq.
Western news sources have uncovered other elements of the China-Sudan relationship.
People around the world ask, why isn't more being done to stop it? Why, for instance, haven't UN soldiers been sent in to enforce a peace? Well, one answer is oil. Sudan has it, and a major player on the world scene wants it.
China has become Sudan's biggest trading partner. It buys more than 2/3 of its oil. Chinese influence is visible across the country. Construction sites full of Chinese workers. And for Khartoum's upwardly mobile professionals, Chinese language lessons. Many believe oil money is also buying Sudan diplomatic cover in Darfur. Beijing has blocked efforts to send UN peacekeepers there without Sudanese consent. China has even sold Sudan hundreds of millions of dollars in weapons.
Amnesty International's report accuses Sudanese authorities of transferring Russian and Chinese weapons to Darfur for military operations.
From the Chinese, $80 million in materials were sent, including I-29 planes. We have reason to believe these planes are used to attack villages.
Ignoring accusations of Sudanese genocide and arms purchases, China offered this defense.
China believes adding pressure to the region will only complicate the problem. It advocates negotiations within the framework of the African Union and the UN to bring the final solution.
Oil cooperation between China and Sudan started in 1996. Over the years, the cooperation has been transparent, mutually beneficial, and non-exclusive. Economic development in Sudan will eventually lead to peace, and a peaceful environment will promote further development.
The ambassador's observation shows the conflict in Darfur is not genocide, but the competition for life-sustaining natural resources and poverty.
Despite the pressure, China's official line has changed little since January.
China has always played a positive role in resolving the Darfur issue, hoping to see peace and stability return to the whole of Sudan as soon as possible.
This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only US network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world.